We're going to go through the process of getting your Instagram ad graphic into the Instagram template in Photoshop. And what I have here is the ad that was designed in Illustrator, and it's in the square format, typical with an Instagram ad. Now, of course, your ad may be designed differently. It's going to be different subject matter, different content, but this is all about just getting that graphic into the template itself. And what I've made sure on this is that it's masked, and I'll show you what I mean by that. If I do Command Y, the graphic is actually masked into this square frame. So there is some graphic that exceeds the frame, but it's hidden by way of being masked into that. So I can copy this and paste it right into Photoshop. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to copy it and Command C, and I'll go over to Photoshop. And this is our template. Now before I paste that in, I'm just going to walk you through what the template consists of. You're going to be working with really two areas in this template. The caption layer, which is here, so I can turn that on and off. And if you want to edit that, you just double click on the T and you can go in and edit your caption. Now when you do that, it's set in Arial regular. Most computers will have Arial, and you shouldn't have to mess with any of the leading or anything. So you should be able to just type right in here and it will flow into the proper leading. And then you'll be working with this image group clip. This is what we sometimes refer to as a shape mask. We sometimes refer to it as a group clipping, image clipping. But essentially this space, this black area, is going to be the container for your ad. This black area designates where your ad is going to go. And we're going to be placing our content above this layer. So in order to do that, we're going to make sure that before we place, we're selected on this group clip layer. Now if you do paste it in and you weren't selected on that and it went somewhere else, you can easily drag the layer above to go above that image group clip. That's all you need to make sure of, but it's easier just to pre-click that, and then you know when you paste, that's where it will be. So I'm going to paste, and I'll choose pixels here. I'll say okay. So I'm just pasting it as pixels. It doesn't need to be a smart object. It's sized, so I'm not going to be scaling it up. I'm probably going to be scaling it down a bit. So I'll say okay. And actually I will be scaling it up, which still isn't a problem if I haven't placed it yet, which I haven't. I've just put it in. It still has the frame around, so I can scale it up a bit before I click the check mark or press return. That way I'm not messing with the resolution. If I had placed it in and then pressed return or click the check mark and then scaled it up, then I'm reducing the quality of that. I'm actually asking it to increase in resolution that it didn't have. Now you also notice that the frame here is going a little bit outside of our visible graphic. That's just indicating that the masked aspects of that Illustrator file came in. They're not visible. You won't be able to see them there, but they're part of the file until we just place this in. So I've scaled it up a bit, and why I've scaled it up is to exceed that black space in size just by a little. So you can see it gets a little bigger than that, and that's okay. And I'm going to move it in a bit just to get it centered, but either way, you want it to be larger than that black space because we can scale it down once it's in, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. So I'll press return or click the check mark to place that in. So now my graphic is placed, and it's a pixel graphic. It's not a smart object. It's not retaining any vector qualities. So we have to be very careful when we size it. We don't want to make it larger. We only want to go a little bit smaller if necessary. So again, if you paste it in and it wasn't above your image group clip layer, this black space here, you can just drag and drop the layer into the space above that. So for example, if it came in down here, then you drag it and drop it above that. Then we're going to put it inside this. So that's what a group clip is. You're designating a space, and that space can be anything. It's essentially just a shape. And by placing our graphic over top of that, we're able to mask it into that. So what I'm going to do is hold my Option key down with this layer selected. I'm holding my Option key down, and on the layer between the two, I can click, and that will go right in. You can see that little icon with the box going and the arrow, and it's just saying the box is going down into this. So whatever is on this layer, it's going to go in behind this one. So I'll Option click on that line, and you'll see it got masked in there. So now with my Move tool selected over in my main toolbar there, I can move this around and it's hidden behind that blue box. So I can get it showing exactly as I want. If I wanted a little less, I could do Command T. So I'm clicked on that layer, I'll do Command T, and I could scale it down if I need to. I'm not going to scale it up, so now I've moved it a bit, so I'm going to just let go, and then I'll undo so that I know it's proper resolution. So this is very helpful because something is actually, you're able to have it larger and you're able to crop away using this as a mask what you may not want to see. You can see here we have a little bit of a fine black line there. That means that when I put it in, it's a little down from matching up with the actual black space. So I'm on my Move tool, I'm select on that layer, I'm just going to hit my up arrow once just to get rid of that black line there. Okay, so that's it, placed in the template. You double click on the type to paste in or write your caption, making sure that you leave your template, your profile name there, and then you can save it as a JPEG or a PNG.